everybody, this is Michelle from Oregon, and I am going to go ahead and do an update on YouTube today on the progress I'm making for my VSG sleeve surgery. I'm going through OHSU in Portland, Oregon through the bariatric group up there. A little bit of background in case this is the first time you've seen a video. I'm 46 years old and I live in Sherwood, Oregon. It's about 20-30 minutes outside of Portland. The OHSU hospital is in Portland, and I started going through the process of getting the VSG surgery last August, and I have been trying to get through the checklist. I have completed everything that is required by insurance. There was just a few other things I found out a few weeks ago. My last video was about 10 days ago and I updated you with that. I need to get back down to my starting weight from August of 256 pounds. I had gained 10 pounds in the last 6 months. Probably just because of the stress of going through the process and not being sure if I was going to be qualified and pre-authorized by my insurance, because I didn't have diabetes and I wasn't over 40 BMI. Well, I am happy to say that I have sleep apnea, so that qualified me for my insurance. They are going to authorize it based on that because I am under 40 BMI. I'm about 38, 39. I have been using the CPAP machine since the beginning of January. I went and saw my my sleep study specialist on the 20th of January, and she had said that I needed to use it more to be eligible for the surgery, and then the bariatric unit confirmed that I needed to be using it at least 4 hours a night and have, I think, 80 percentile of using it within a 21-day period. Well, I'm very excited to let you know that this last week I was able to get a hold of my contact person up at OHSU, and I sent her the latest report, the latest download of my usage on my CPAP machine, and I am in compliance, so that's something checked off my list. I just need to keep using it every night. Honestly, if you've never used a sleep machine, a CPAP unit, it's very hard to get used to. I've heard that some people haven't had any issues whatsoever. I'm sorry, I've been struggling with a cold and my eyeballs are just really watering this afternoon. I'm on my lunch break and I have to go back to work in a little bit, but I just wanted to update YouTube this afternoon before I start my busy weekend. And I just had a really hard time with the CPAP unit, getting used to it. I started using a mask that just lays right under your nose. It's called a pillow, a soft pillow, or a dream pillow. It's really difficult to get used to, but I think I'm doing a great job. I've actually got my husband used to hearing me not snore every night. I think that if I went back to not using it and went back to snoring, he would probably be very upset, because I think he's been sleeping better every night because he seems to be getting a lot more rest. So it's benefiting both of us, and I think that that's awesome. Another thing on my checklist is I have an inactive thyroid. I've been back on my thyroid medicine, the levothyroxine medicine, since before Christmas. My thyroid just doesn't seem to work very well, and if you're familiar with hypothyroidism, it does prevent you from losing weight in a very fast, quick manner, which is very frustrating. And that's pretty much why I'm in the boat that I'm in, because I didn't realize that I had it for several years, and then the doctor put me on levothyroxine and it made me really sick, so I took myself off, and then I did this yo-yo thing for years and years. So here I am. I'm 5'10", 46 years old, and 262 pounds. I am also in the process of trying to lose that 10 pounds that I mentioned. That's I need to get my labs done. I'll hopefully get over to the lab and get the blood work done in the next week. I'm going to meet with a dietitian next Wednesday to see what I can do to get this weight off quickly. I really have been trying in the last 2 weeks to cut out high sugar, any fast food. I've been very successful with that. I did stop drinking because I tend to drink socially, so I've stopped that. I've had a couple times where I've had a glass of wine or a glass of cider on Super Bowl, or just a couple different occasions, but I've limited myself and not overdone it, and I'm really proud of that, making that accomplishment, because social drinking is kind of something that I participate in quite often just because I'm very social, and my husband and I like to go out and meet with friends and visit our local Elks Lodge, and it hasn't been that challenging, maybe because I haven't gone out as much, because the couple times that I have gone out, I have had a glass of wine, but it's been really good to have some success in that area, and I'm sure the calories I'm cutting are astronomical. I wanted to talk a little bit about my diet because 10 days ago I was at 266 pounds, and today I'm at 262 pounds, so I think 4 pounds in the last 10 days is pretty good progress. I did start my period, and during my period I got on the scale, which probably wasn't a great idea, but I did go up 3 pounds, so I went up to 269, and then this week, after I finished my period, then I went back to the scale, and this morning I'm 262. So that was encouraging. So I know that whatever I'm doing, it's working. So I wanted to kind of brief you a little bit on what I am doing. And please, if you have any suggestions, if someone is out there that sees my video and has an issue with their thyroid, I would love, 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 love to hear any advice that you've had, any success that you've had with trying to get any weight off with an overactive thyroid or an underactive thyroid. Something else that I mentioned in my last video that I'm not sure if you're interested in is that I started taking kelp supplements. I did read that this is rich in iodine, and the reason why your thyroid has such a hard time working is because it needs iodine to be able to speed up and help your metabolism. So I've been taking these. I've been taking 1, 2, maybe 3 capsules a day. Just whenever I come home and I think about it, I pop one in my mouth. I've also been diligent about taking vitamin D, vitamin C, iron, and also a multivitamin. I did get really sick last week. There's this nasty flu crud that's been going around my office, and it caught up with me, so I was in bed all last weekend, and it was just really miserable. I was taking a lot of cold medicine, and the liquid type seems to have a lot of sugar, so I was not happy about that, but I couldn't breathe through my nose, and using the CPAP machine without your nostrils being able to provide oxygen, that was very challenging. So the cold medicine was kind of something I had to do. I popped myself full of airborne. I did the powder and the hot liquid several times a day, and I feel great now. I was only down a couple days with that, where other people I noticed had missed several days of work and even weeks. So I was very fortunate to get a mild case of the flu, but boy, it was a doozy. So a little bit about my diet. What I've been doing is I've been taking my vitamins. I've been trying to speed up my metabolism. by doing a lot of meditation, a lot of deep breathing in the mornings, trying to get my blood flow. I've mentioned before, I try to do Qigong, which is a form of Tai Chi, and that's really good for your blood circulation. I need to do more exercise. That's something on my to-do list for the next week, is to get out and to walk. We're going away this weekend. We're heading out to the coast tomorrow morning and coming back Sunday. So I'm hoping that we can make a few stops along the way and do a couple hikes and really get out into nature and try to get the blood flowing. Something else I've been doing is I went to GNC and I found these smoothies. I don't know if you can see. These smoothies are really good. These shakes, these protein shakes, they're 170 calories and they have 3 grams of fiber and 25 grams of protein per serving. I am not a morning person, and I do need to get my butt out of bed and do better about it, and maybe going for a walk or something. But preparing breakfast in the morning is just not my thing. I'm not even hungry till like 10 o'clock in the morning if I get up early. So usually I'll just make myself a coffee and I'll head out the door, and then I won't even eat anything until lunchtime, which is usually around noon for me. So these protein shakes have been awesome for me. I've been just throwing one of these in my bag in the morning, taking it to work, and then I get to work, I just throw it on my desk, and when I start to feel hungry around 10 o'clock, I'll run downstairs and I'll fill up my water, which I've been really good about my water. I've been drinking a lot of water. I've also just grabbed some ice and then brought it back to my desk, and then I'll pour this over ice and drink that, and I am full. Some days, even when I go to lunch at noon, I'm like, I'm not even hungry. I guess I'll make another smoothie. So I've been doing that. I've been coming home and throwing some unsweetened almond milk, some pineapple, some non-fat, non-flavored Greek yogurt, a banana, and some kale. I bought a huge big tub of kale last week, and I would just grab handfuls of it and throw it in the blender with some ice and blend that up. I'm going to do that today before I head back to work, because I had one of these around 11 o'clock this morning, and now it's afternoon. I took a later lunch today because I do that on Fridays, and I'm really not even hungry, but I know I need to put something in my stomach because I'm not going to make it all the way to 5 o'clock without trying to chew on my arm or something, because I will get hungry. I know myself. Usually around 3 o'clock, I'm really dying for a snack or something. So I'm going to make that smoothie, and I'm going to take it with me and go back to my desk and finish out my day. And so I've been doing that for lunch, and if I'm really feeling more hungry and I need something substantial and I just want to chew on something, I'll make a salad with some dark leafy greens like spinach or kale, and I'll throw in a cucumber and some carrots, and I've been making dressing with just some seasonings and apple cider vinegar and olive oil, and I'll pour that on top of it with some grilled chicken. I just go to the grocery store, and usually I go to New Seasons because they have the hormone-free or grass-fed chicken. So I'll just grab a bunch of breasts and have them individually wrap them, so that when I want to throw them on my little George Foreman, then I just do that. And then I'll just keep them in the fridge and then take them out and chop them up and throw in some bell peppers or something else for some more crunchies, and I'll eat that. I even made tacos for my husband the other night, and I had some leftover taco meat. I threw that on top of a bunch of mixed greens with some bell peppers and an avocado, and I put the dressing on top of that, and that was delicious. That was awesome. So I'm doing a lot of salads. I can't tell you I'm sick of them yet, but as far as needing to eat something more crunchy or anything, I'm not really missing carbs. Last night I went out with some coworkers, and I did have a cider with my dinner, and I got fish and chips. So I did have some carbs last night, but really that was one of the only times that I've had carbs in the last 10 days. So I'm doing pretty good, and the scale seems to be moving. I would like to move it. I would like for it to move faster, but you know, these things take time, so I'm being patient with myself. And like I said, I just really need to work more on, you know, not drinking at all. We are going away this weekend, so I'll probably have a glass of wine with dinner tomorrow night when we head out. But during the week, I need to cut out coffee and try to get off of caffeine. That was one of my goals, and I haven't been very successful with that just because it's so habitual for me. It's just my routine in the morning to make a coffee and run out the door and head out to work. I'm not buying coffee, so I'm not spending money on it, but I'm spending the calories. So it's coming out of one of these bank accounts. It's not my financial one, it's my calorie one. I've been tracking a lot on the MyPal app, MyFitnessPal. If you haven't downloaded that onto your smartphone, it's really easy to use, and there's so many categories and different things in there that you can familiarize yourself with. It's really super easy to use, and so that's been good to track what I'm eating every day and look at my calories. I think one day last week I had 1,200 and something calories. That was the only day. Everything else has probably been right around 1,000 or 1,100. So I'm doing that, so hopefully the scale will just continue to move. And anyways, that's pretty much all I have. I appreciate your comments and any advice. If you've already had the surgery and you've already gone through this pre-authorization process and this waiting game with insurance, I really wish I just had an extra 12 grand sitting around so I could just go ahead and pay for it and not have to worry about all these things. But that's not my life, and I don't really have credit cards or anything like that. So I'm just trying to work with what I have at my disposal here. So anyways, I will get back to you on the comments that you left on my last video. I just haven't had a chance. I've been super busy, and as I said, I was sick last weekend and I just was sleeping, trying to get better. But anything that you have that would help me, your success stories, what worked for you, what didn't work for you, and especially those of you that have thyroid issues, I would really, really love to communicate with you people, because it has been such a battle and it's very frustrating at times. And you know, that's kind of where I was at last night with the fish and chips. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna eat fish and chips tonight. I haven't seen the scale really move, so it really doesn't matter. Then I got on there this morning and I was, you know, at 262. So I'm like, okay, well, we'll reset today and we'll get back with the program. So anyways, thank you so much everybody for watching and liking and commenting on my videos. And I really appreciate you. And I hope to talk to you all soon, and have a great weekend and happy Friday. That's it from Oregon.